See this beat? This is the solution I'm going to share. You want the answer without sitting through the whole video? This is it. This is what you should practice to fix the subtle coordination flaw that plagues even advanced drummers. Oh, and what is the weakness? It's coordinating the other three limbs when you don't have a lead limb. That's it. Got what you came for? Price of admission? Yeah. I didn't think so either. Because while I don't like playing coy getting to the goods, you'd probably appreciate a little context, right? Like, why do I think this is the biggest hidden weakness? How did I discover it? What exactly do I mean when I say coordinating the other three limbs without a lead limb? Because it's a feel thing. I can teach you to feel it, but unless you feel it, you won't really know what I'm talking about. Oh, and what exactly is that solution I just showed? Let's roll that again. Yeah, what the heck is that? And why do I think it'll work? So for those of you willing to acknowledge that taking the journey with me and filling in the gestalt is more than the sum of the bullet points on the one-pager, let's dive deeper. All those questions will be answered within this lesson. Stay tuned. Now guys, as usual, quick message from our sponsor, me, to let you know you're going to encounter a bunch of different beats in this lesson, and you do not need to transcribe them for yourself. We've transcribed them for you into a clear, downloadable PDF. You can get that for free by clicking below the lesson. Okay, on to the lesson. Let's begin by talking about how I discovered this thing. I've always kind of known that I had an issue coordinating my left foot with the other three limbs, but it was on full display this past week when I was reviewing recordings of a cover I made of Dap Theory's Only Clave. There was actually a bit I cut out of last week's lesson because it was me trying to play with the hi-hat on consonants, and it was dicey. I don't usually do this, but let's roll that. Aww. Do you hear how unsettled that feels? It's a crappy feeling, right? Obviously, I set out to figure out something I could practice that would make this feel better. Before we do anything else, I want to teach you to feel what I felt. So I've got two beats to help you feel this. One's easier, one's harder. So it's going to depend on your level. The first beat is this. 2, 3, 4. Seems pretty simple so far, right? Next step. Add the hi-hat in on every eighth. 2, 3, 4. So far, so good? Okay, final step. Take the stick from the lead hand, put it on the rack tom, put that hand on your thigh. Play with the hats, your left hand, your right foot. 2, 3, 4. Still easy? Try this crazy tip. Move the surfaces that your right hand is resting on as you try to play this. 3, 4. See that? It caught me when I was trying to move my phone. I'm not trying to play a gimmick here. I'm trying to teach you to actually feel it. So now we're starting to get into how to feel it. Let's try with the harder beat. 2, 3, 4. And if that one's not difficult for you, I don't know what is. It's difficult for me. Do you feel how your body feels unsettled? Like kinesthetically, you're not sure exactly where that next beat's gonna fall? Like you're floating a little bit? Like you're not completely centered? That's the weakness. Now try that one rubbing your head. Anyway, this is just the beginning. Do you feel that? It feels bad, right? And trust me, it's not just an abstraction. You're going to notice inconsistencies in the time when you listen to your playing on recordings, whether or not you're playing the left foot, because your nervous system is missing a piece of the puzzle. Think about it the next time you try to play even a simple beat. Once you feel it, you can't unfeel it. The good news is great drummers don't have this problem. Let's roll some Larnell. Let's roll some Dana. You hear how with your newly sensitive ears, their time sounds way more settled. That means we can get there. But how do we fix it? The good news is how we fix this on drums is just the opposite of how we created the problem. If playing this beat, 2, 3, 4. The level you want to feel is moderately difficult. It's pushing you, but it's still doable. If it's too hard, you can make it easy two ways. Number one, slow it down. Number two, don't play the rim shots. 2, 3, 4. If it's too easy, you want to make it harder, you can orchestrate. 2, 3, 4. Etc. If it's still too easy, try that more difficult beat from the first segment. 2, 3, 4. In either case, I would start every practice session by playing this for at least 10 minutes. I'd recommend playing it for 20, but it does not have to be perfect when you move on to the next thing because it's always going to be a work in progress. You can always come back to it. The next step is we got our lead hand in again, and we're going to play the lead hand on 16th offbeats. So our hi-hat foot and our lead hand create a 16th note matrix. So 3, 4. Now that's hard enough, making sure it's consistent and the distance is the same between all of them and they're the same volume. But then we're going to add our beat to that. And for this segment, we'll only do the easy beat. 2, 3, 4. Are your 16 notes even? Are your rim shots consistent? Are your ghost notes consistent? Are your kick notes locking up with the hat notes and the lead hand notes? If so, you know it's getting better. So that's the beginner version. Now let's talk about this more advanced beat. Really quickly, let's talk about that beat from the beginning of the lesson. Remember this? 3, 4. So that's a segment from a Sean Rickman beat from a tune called Only Clave that I covered in this lesson. But it's in 9, the hi-hat's playing every 8th. So just for extra credit, and this will be written down for you, I'll play this beat and I'll hit the downbeat of every bar on the cymbal. So here we go. 2, 3. So that's a pretty parsimonious route back to the beat from the beginning of the lesson. But now you have the context of how we got there, where it comes from, why it works. So that's how we get to this solution. I've been doing this for a week and it's so potent, I've been spending about 75% of my practice sessions on it because I can tell this is bottlenecking everything else. Meaning everything will be weak until I fix this. And once I fix this, everything else will be stronger. Oh, do you guys want to see me try to improvise with this? Show that to you in a second, but first, reminder, all the beats and concepts in this lesson, you don't have to transcribe them yourself. They're transcribed for you. You can download that free workbook by clicking the link below the player. That's it. Okay, now let's watch me improvise a little. Okay, extra credit. I'm going to try to improvise with this in 4. First, we're going to do hat only, then we're going to do hat and lead hand on offbeats. So here we go. 2, 3, 4. Last challenge, we'll play it with the 16th note matrix. 2, 3, 4. Guys, practices 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes a day. 3 weeks, I guarantee your playing will be more solid. And that's how you get the gig. So dudes, hope you enjoyed this lesson. If you did and you feel like you know somebody who might benefit from it, please give it a share. If you want to see more of the lesson that inspired this lesson, watch this on the screen. And if you've been lurking a little bit, you feel like you might be ready to become a friend of the channel, I recommend clicking that subscribe button and hit the bell. Don't be a weenie, hit the bell. Who are you kidding? Hit the bell. Sorry, that was a little pushy. Anyway, dudes, it's been real. See you again real soon in another lesson of the week.